So in this video I want to review a very special book, and the book in question is Wanderer's Guide to Merchants and Magic. The keen observer may notice that it says Eventyr Games down here at the bottom, and you may wonder, well Jay, how can you possibly review your own book? Isn't that completely subjective and unethical? And my answer to you is yes, it is, probably, but I do believe that I can be objective. Even if it is my own book, why wouldn't I be able to criticize it for everything it has? So yeah, of course I'll be your very objective, very impartial, non-biased, unbiased reviewer for this video, where I'll be taking a look at Wanderer's Guide to Merchants and Magic. The first question you probably have is, what is Wanderer's Guide to Merchants and Magic? Well, Wanderer's Guide to Merchants and Magic is something that me and my business partner came up with because we felt that it was really missing in D&D. A compendium of magic merchants, rules for trading magic items, and of course a bunch of new magic items, and also price lists and prices for magic items. Like many other DMs, I always had trouble coming up with magic merchants on the fly, so when a character would get into town and say, hey, I want to sell that spear I just found, I need to pick up some potions of healing or whatever, I'll start scrambling, going, okay, well, you meet this guy and he has these, and how much does those cost? Well, probably 100 gold pieces, I don't know. I ended up having to improvise everything, including the merchant, the merchandise, how does that look, what's actually in the shop, how much does it cost, all of that good stuff. So what we decided was that we needed a book for that, and we put that on Kickstarter, and the result was Wanderer's Guide to Merchants of Magic. So that was how the book was created, but what is actually in it? Well, the main feature of the book are 23 magic shops, including merchants, merchandise, inventory, and rules for bargaining, how do they bargain, stat blocks for the shopkeeper and the minions, and we also have a complete inventory table that sort of gives us prices and everything for the item that particular merchant sells. And that's something I think the authors have done really well, where they've made sure that each magic shop comes complete with everything you basically need to run it, from a description of the merchant, stat blocks, inventory, shop security rules, and everything that you need to just plug it into your game. So you can just go to a page, find a merchant, and you can basically put it into your game without any preparation. Another feature of the book is, of course, that it also includes 4 adventures. One adventure is set in an auction house and is in sort of an auction heist, where the characters are going in to get something from the auction house without being caught or without having too much trouble. And there's also 3 other adventures with different themes, but all related to the magic merchants in the book and or magic items that they need to sort of recover or sell or do stuff with. So that's also a huge selling point for the book. You can also get the PDF with digital assets. They'll also include tokens and maps. There are 14 unique maps and more than 25 monster tokens included. So also a lot of new stat blocks for new cool monsters. Another major selling point is, of course, that the book also contains 120 new magic items, and these magic items are all original, unique creations that we made, and there is unique art for all of them, I believe, or if not all of them, then at least nearly all of them have original commissioned art. You can also get physical item cards, which are really nice, that you can hold in your hand, give to your players so they can sort of have the magic item that they are possessing in their hand. There's also a section in the book about creating your own magic shops, your own magic merchants, and filling out its inventory if you need some guidance or help or just some inspiration to create your own magic shops. So that's a really cool feature of the book as well. And then there is at the very end also a complete price list for all the basic rules magic items and all the new magic items in the book. So you have set prices for about 400 different magic items, which is also something that comes in really handy. It should be said that the book also contains rules for bargaining. It contains some advice on wealth guidelines and stuff like handling magic items and buying and selling magic items in a 5th edition campaign. Stuff that I don't think the Dungeon Master's Guide did that good of a job explaining. So in my objective opinion, what is wrong with the book, what could have been better, is what are the weak points, because no book is perfect, not even this really amazing book. Obviously, it must have some flaws. I would say that, well, it's basic rules, it's third party, it's unofficial, we can't use official materials, so I would have liked to seen prices for magic items that aren't in the basic rules, that aren't allowed to be used under the open gaming license. Luckily for us, the authors of this book have made an app where you can find prices for all of those items as well, including those that are also in the book. So there'll be a link to that in the description down below. But that's something that we would have really liked to see in the book. That would have been great to have. If there's another nitpick, it is that the item cards, the physical item cards you can get, they don't come in a box. The creators of this book apparently didn't know that cards were supposed to come in boxes. They maybe thought that boxes were just included when they produced the item cards, which is really weird, but that's sort of annoying as well. You have to find your own box for them or use rubber bands or whatever to contain them. So that's something that probably pulls it down a bit as well. Beyond that, I don't have too many critiques. I'll probably range this among the most important D&D book we've ever gotten, and among the top 10 pieces of literature that you'll ever purchase in your life. So I really recommend that you check out the link below and pick up the book right now. Shipping is pretty cheap. We have 1 to 2 weeks delivery across the world. You may have 3 weeks delivery in Canada or Australia. Not my fault, your countries are so big. Everywhere else you should be able to get the book in a few weeks. And you can also of course just pick up the digital copy, the digital assets, everything. There are a bunch of deals that you can find through the link down below. So yeah, that's my review of Wanderer's Guide to Merchant Magic by Eventyr Games. I'm really excited to see what they do next. I know they have Milando's Guide to Magical Marvels on pre-order on the page, another link you can find in the description down below. And that book promises to take the concepts in here even further by providing additional magical service, weird new stuff you can do to sort of reward your player characters, and also 3 brand new adventures and a whole bunch of new magic items and monster stat blocks. So that's also something that is very exciting, and you can also find that in a link in the description down below. Beyond that, there's not a whole lot left to say, except thank you for watching this very objective review by me of my own product, and I hope that I'll see you in the next video.